Welcome to the module on morphology. Morphology is the study in the way in which words are put together out of meaningful units, including morphemes and the patterns of combining morphemes. So a morpheme is the smallest unit of language that carries meaning. So a content morpheme has or change lexical meaning and or parts of speech. Functional morphemes do not have or change lexical meaning, or they contain just grammatical information. So the underlying parts are content morphemes. So book, bookstore, book as part of books. The S is a functional morpheme. A free morpheme can stand alone, like book or store or like. A bound morpheme can never occur in isolation, like S or ISH or ED. Derivational or inflectional morphemes. A derivational morpheme changes the meaning or parts of speech. It's not required by syntax, and it tends to occur before an inflectional suffix. And they are selective about what types of stems they'll combine with. So nonsense, overexcited, drinkable, non-over, and able are all derivational morphemes. Inflectional morphemes do not change the meaning or part of speech. They're required by syntax, and they tend to occur at the margin of words. So worked, walking, Johns. Those are all inflectional morphemes. There's different rules for word formation, including affixation. This is when you add a prefix or a suffix to a word. In other languages, you can also add an infix. That's something into the middle of the word, but that doesn't occur in English. So unbelievable. Unbelievable creates an affixation word. Alternation means making a morpheme or an internal modification. So man becomes men, read becomes read, foot, feet. And then in Spanish, for instance, we have dormir, which becomes duermo, and that's an example of both alternation and affixation. Suppletion is the forming of irregularly inflected forms. It's a complete change to an unrelated form. So is becomes was, bad, worse, go, went. Reduplication is when we form a new word by doubling all or part of a morpheme. So they're very common in pidgins and creoles, but it's less common in English than in other languages. And it's really often child centers. Bye-bye. Do you like him or do you like him? And chiquitito is reduplicated the ito suffix in Spanish. So it means like a tiny little boy in Spanish. Compounding is when we combine two independent words. Handout, sleepwalk, pickpocket, bookstore. Back formation is when we form a new word via removal of what people thought was an affix. So editor, we created the word edit. Television, we created televise. Peddler, we created peddle. Then we also have the process of just creating a completely new word. We can borrow the word from another language. We can start to use an acronym as a word. We can create a blend. We can clip words. We can use coinages, which are the brand names. We can use them for the item. We can convert words. And then we can use eponyms, which is the item name for a person connected with them. Try these different problems on your own, and then look at the example answers given in the PowerPoint before you start your practice problems. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns.